Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John.
I'm Claire.
This is Many a True Nerd, and welcome to Human Resource Machine, which is basically a game that's going to encourage me to attempt to program in a programming language I don't speak live under time pressure and also under the pressure of all of you ridiculing me live in the chat.
Yay!
So yay! It's gonna be good flipping stuff. This is a programming game, or rather, it's a programming game in disguise. Because what the game instead gives you is little puzzles of some description. Let's just go for the triple room. I think I remember the solution to this one, so I can talk through it nice and simple. So basically, what you've got is, over on the left, numbers come in. Over on the right, numbers are supposed to go out. The game for each room gives you a specific challenge of some description. So in this case, the challenge is for each thing in the inbox, triple it, and then outbox the results. In order to do that, you've got yourselves a whole bunch of programming commands. So these are ones I've actually already entered, just remembers the solution that you put in last time. So you've basically got to give your little guy instructions step by step, orders that he will follow in order. So for example, if I want to pick up a thing from the inbox, triple it, and put it into the outbox, first thing I need to do is pick it up. So inbox means pick it up. But once I've actually got it in my hands, then I can copy to and copy from, which means I can basically use these three spaces in the middle of the floor to basically take the value that I'm holding. So if I pick up the first one down there, I'd pick up a 4 and I'd be holding 4. If I then say copy to 0, there is now going to be a 4 on space 0. 0 will now represent the numerical value 4. So I'm still holding the 4, however, it's copying, not like cutting and pasting. So if I want to triple something, I can simply say, okay, add the value of 0, and then add the value of 0 again, and then outbox the result. But that would only do for one of those numbers, so then I just need to add a jump command and say, okay, once you're done, go back to beginning. So in this case, he grabs the thing, he puts it down, he adds them together again, that's tripled, he outboxes it, and the jump command forces him back to the beginning, and now we do the same process again, and we can just basically increase the speed, and that should be pretty much perfect. That's what the game wants to do, slowly introducing more and more commands as things go on. So continue on to the elevator, please, and now we will skip forward to puzzles I haven't done before. And thus can't just introduce.
This is gonna go great, because you're terrible at doing logical puzzles, and I'm terrible at math.
I'm not terrible at logical puzzles. I'm very good at logical puzzles. Thank you. Claire's giving me such a look right now. She's just feeling, very, very powerful at the minute, just because France has just won the World Cup.
No, it's because every time I have to edit a video of you doing a puzzly programming game, you are wrong about it. Admittedly, the last time I made a video of this game, there was a period where I just basically had to cut out about 20 minutes while the word no flashed on screen repeatedly. I edited the word no flashing on screen because I got everything so wrong, so incredibly wrong. But that's not going to happen on this occasion. So let's just take on the first puzzle I haven't actually seen here. So what have we got here? What exactly do you want me to do? So send each thing from the inbox to the outbox. But if the number is a negative, first remove its negative sign. Okay, and we've got a couple of extra ones that were added in the meantime. So I can add and subtract, obviously, pretty obvious. Copy from and copy to, just use these spaces here. Jump only if 0 and jump only if negative, and this just lets me write notes. So, hello. There we go. This is a useful note for me to put right there. So I can literally add, programming notes if that's what I want to do. No, I just want to put that. Alright, fine. I guess I'll just put it here, whatever. So I can actually leave myself little programming notes, which is marvellously good news. So this is, okay, so just remove negative sign. This one actually seems pretty simple. So if I just pick something up, then, okay, so because negatives are involved, if negative, okay, so I'm going to solve the puzzle for the event of positives first, and then I'm going to deal with the negatives afterwards. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say jump if negative. So if something's positive, it will be inside here. So positive things are fine. So positive things can simply be outboxed, and then we can jump back to the beginning. So that will solve the puzzle for positives. So this little positive, he goes over here, he gets immediately dumped. However, yep,
they get a bit confused when the things are negative. So I now need to sort out the solution for the negatives, but I've got a solution for the positives. Okay, so I've got an idea. So obviously the thing about negative numbers is wait, hang on, no, I need to do a copy 2 first. The thing about negative numbers is if you subtract a negative number off a negative number, you end up with a positive number. So what I need to do is if I copy a negative number, because this will only be negative numbers, because we've already excluded the positives because they're being dealt with here, only negative numbers can ever end up in here, and I'll already be holding a negative, and I'll still be holding a negative at that point. So if I subtract what's now in 0 off myself, so -5 minus -5 would be 0, and then if I do that a second time, it will now be +5. Because it'll be, wait, then it'll be 0 minus, yeah, 0 minus -5 would still be, because it'll still be -5 written down there. That'll still be +5. So then no matter what negative I put into it, I will end up with a positive. So then I just outbox that, jump back to the beginning again, and that should give me the right result. So let's just give that a test, because these things fall apart. So 7 passes the test nice and easy. -5 gets brought to 0. Brought to 5! Boom! Solved it. Claire, while the little man goes through this, back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Hemlock Drinker, who gave us £5 and said after the Darwin Project video, super disappointed that videos don't now begin with, "Hello everybody, this is God."
It was quite fun just being in megaphone mode with Darwin Project. I thought that was a really fun video. I'm glad that turned out really well. I'm glad everyone had a nice time who came along.
Yeah, so, yeah. I haven't had time to watch that one yet. I'm really excited about it.
That took a lot of editing. That was a heavy editing job. Does anyone say anything about the audio? By the way, was the audio levels fine? No one complaining about that.
The audio levels are fine. I think I checked them when you were mentioning that earlier. It was fine.
And yeah, while I've got the actual solution in 36 steps, apparently there'd be a way to do that using only 8 commands rather than 9. So I've got one bonus objective for that, but I'm not going to force that. Also, there's a plot. There's a weird plot to this game, which is like something about robots surrounding the city. It's really weird. Except on this occasion, I'm having a beach sabbatical, like me and my co-workers together, and that's it. That was my beach sabbatical.
Can we have a beach sabbatical?
No, you don't get a beach sabbatical.
Oh.
You don't get an entire year off to just sit on a beach.
Oh, it's a year-long sabbatical. I definitely want that now.
This is the year 18 beach sabbatical. You just as a result. Well, actually, no. You know what? No. You know what? This is fair. If you have when you have worked for 18 years for Many a True Nerd, you can have a year-long sabbatical. Alright? You remember that. At a year 18, Claire gets a year-long sabbatical.
Well, I mean, I don't actually think YouTube will still be around in 17 years.
Yeah, well, well, who knows what Many a True Nerd will be doing. Maybe by that point we'll be a box-making company. Like, as long as you're still working for Many a True Nerd in whatever form it exists in, that will be 100% fine.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus, please not.
Okay, let's have a look-see. So, I'm worried by... Yes, welcome back from your year-long sabbatical. Time keeps ticking, let's get to work. And what exactly do we have here? So, for each number in the inbox, send that number to the outbox, followed by all numbers down to or up to 0. You've got a new command. They add 1 or subtract 1 from an item on the floor. The result is given back to you, and for your convenience, also written back on the floor. Bump. Oh, this is a new command. So hang on. Each number in the inbox, send that number into the outbox, followed by all numbers. So I have to basically, so I'd need to send 2, then 1, but potentially not, I don't know if I need to also send 0. Don't know if I actually need to send 0. And then I need to, -6, -5, -4. So down 2 or up to 0, but I'm not sure if 0 needs... I assume 0 doesn't get included because then I can use the jump if 0. Right. Okay. I think I get this. So, obviously I need to start off by picking something up. Then what I need to do is copy it to, hang on, so let's just check if I understand exactly how the bump system works. So bump plus or bump minus. They add one or subtract one from an item on the floor. So, copy to the floor. Okay, so I'm holding 2, I copy 2 onto floor. Then I need to, oh, hang on. Okay, so I'm gonna deal with the positives first. So I'm going to, all of this is going to be jumped in the event of negative. So I'm going to solve the positives first. So if I'm in here, anything within the blue space, under the red, within the blue jump if negative, must fundamentally be positive. So as a result, I can then bump the number, yeah, I can then bump 0 down. Though 0 won't actually be 0, 0 will be 2. Then that will be bumped down to 1. Now, jump if 0. Okay, hang on. Then we jump back to the beginning, and we keep doing that until it's time to jump if 0, because when it hits 0, then we jump the process, and then we outbox it. So the idea is oh, I've gone cross-eyed. Right, let's just check if that works with a positive. So 2 gets put down. I take up... No. No. Right, I'm on the right track, but I needed to outbox, then go back and do it. Let's see if I got this right. So what I'm doing now to try and fix this, okay, I inbox. If jump if negative, ignore. So the first thing I need to do is I need to... Actually, if I outbox there, then the outboxing will be part of it. So this says I outbox, and then I jump to here. Okay. So jump if 0 or jump if negative. So pick something up must be positive. I copy the 2. I outbox the 2 so the 2 is present. Then what I do is I lower it by 1 and pick it up, then I outbox that. I jump back to the beginning and... No, now the jump if 0 needs to come down to here. And then, yeah, that'll just be stuck in a loop until it hits 0, at which point I'll pick up the 0 and I'll outbox the 0. I'm going to check if I need the 0 or not. Let's see if this works. So 6 gets outboxed. You can't jump if 0 with empty hands. Okay, that's fine. So I copied 2, but then hang on, how do I outbox then if I'm going to, if I move this down to here and then I bump that. Okay, so that gets put down there. Then I come down over here, I bump that. The 8 goes down over here. Oh, this is working. Okay, this is actually working at this point. The question now is it going to go wrong when we get to the 0? It might go wrong when we get to the 0, so I'm just going to speed this up, because you can do that. So 4, 3, 2. Okay, what happens next? Not enough stuff. Okay, so it did want a 0. The problem was I ran out of... yeah, I did need the 0. So, that should work for positive. I just need to basically recode that, the whole thing... But if I just change that to being a bump positive, because anything beyond this line must fundamentally be negative, that should work. Right, while I set that up, Claire, back to you.
A me to be me says you need a copy from, then the bump before checking to see if it's 0.
I've skipped the copy from step. I'm one step ahead of that. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Why are you being smug about it? Your thing isn't working.
My thing did work. Right, and then jump goes to at the bump, and then the jump if 0 is supposed to skip to the end of the process. So, wait, the jump if 0 skips to, where does the jump if, this jump if 0 goes to the outbox at the jump if 0 goes under the bump to an outbox at the end, which is below the jump and the thing. And then I stick a jump in there. I basically just tried to recreate the code, and then we go back to inbox. Except there also needs to be another jump at the end of the positives to bring me back to that. So now, I believe that's the same setup, just for negatives rather than positives, copying to a different cell, which I'm not sure if you need to do, but I guess I could just get away with using one box. I'm not sure if I actually need that. Right, let's just test if that works. Claire.
Yeah, apparently it was not math, but a line of basic. So, I'm sorry, I don't know that.
Management expected -5, but you outboxed 0. Why did I outbox 0?
So you got stuck on the 0.
Apparently so. Wait, hang on. So the jump if negative comes to here. Oh, no, that's... Okay. No, I think if I just fix that, that should actually fix that. Right, okay. So I know this process works. Okay, you get the 0, and then... Oh, that's working! That's working! It's working! I am a programming god! Claire, back to you.
Shout out to Ella, who gave us...
No! What did you do? Why did that not work? It was working! Okay, so he dumps the 0. Now, is this where it goes wrong? He picks up a 0, then he puts the 0 down, then he should go straight over to... Oh, okay. Zeros create problems. Okay. Why is him picking up a 0 causing a... Oh! Okay. No, I think I can just manually fudge this. Okay, all I need to do is create a special case purely for zeros. So we just whack the 0 down to the bottom, and then we say, in the event of 0, you just basically outbox the 0, and then you just jump back to the beginning. So this is a manual fudge for instances of zeros. But it's I'm just gonna also add a note, just putting question marks down. I'm a real programmer now. So I'm just gonna put that in. Alright. And now they've put that 0 in every time just to be dicks about it. Right, let's see if this works. Claire? Back to you.
Yeah, a lot of people trying to help out in the chat and like giving you pointers on what to do to like learn assembler programming.
Isn't it assembly? I think it's assembly.
Well, they would probably know better than you, wouldn't they? Anyway.
I am the best! I am the best! I programmed the thing! I use twice as many commands as you can get away with. But
yeah,
apparently...
but like, I'm not actually...
But the actual total 82 steps was apparently not so bad.
Yeah, but also
okay.
Like,
Well, okay, let's get the maths advice here. Give me the maths advice so we can learn before we move on.
I don't think it was math advice. Ringworld Engineer gave us $5 and a line that is apparently basic. So it says 10 print CHR $sign to 205.5 plus RND. Well, there's so many brackets and stuff.
Is this like some form of like the old QBasic marquee or something? It looks like it's just a repeating function that would like make something be printed on screen.
Yeah, maybe, but like I have literally not done any coding for over a year. Because
like literally my favourite thing in the world when I was at school was obviously just using QBasic just to create the rainbow marquee thing. Scrolling, that was really cool.
You know any programming language at all?
I was not too bad at working with QBasic back in the day.
You were really impressed with me when I like used a non-break space on the website.
Well, but that's just web design. That's nothing compared to what I did, of course.
Yeah, but like you were really impressed with it, and it's like real basic. So...
Well, so's QBasic. I never created anything my own from QBasic, but I took existing QBasic and I was not bad at modifying it. I could find my way around a QBasic thing and modify games. Back in my youth, when if you wanted to play games in school, you did it by virtue of knowing how to use QBasic.
Anyway, shout out to Justin, who mentioned in chat that he's a programmer and also gave us $50.
Oh, wow. Thank you very, very much indeed.
I mean, I really don't know why you would do that when you're already subjecting yourself to, like, us trying to play this programming game. But he says if you beat TIS -100, you can claim to be a programming god. Beating human resource machine just means you're okay.
Do we know what TIS 100 is?
No.
I assume that's a game.
Do you want me to Google
Let's Google that. I assume that's a different game because, like, I assume that's like Shenzhen IO, which is another game people like, which is another programming game.
Yeah, it's a thing on Steam.
Excellent.
I'll just keep the page open. We can have a look at it.
Oh no!
A little bit. It's called. It stands for Tessellated Intelligence System.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, it's got really positive reviews.
Oh, God.
I'm just going to keep that open.
Oh, God,
in the background. Anyway, shout out to Robbie who gave us £2 and says, as a programmer, this pains me.
Hey, it worked. I made it work. Just slightly fudged it, but it did work.
Yeah, but like, in your defense, I'm
going to... I see why I doubled up the number of things. I could have just... rather than having them all be on separate commands, I could have just actually put in a simple... Yeah, okay. I see. I see the problem. Yes. Oh, God, we're into multiplication. Oh, God, Claire. Claire, give me something before multiplication. I need to emotionally prepare myself for multiplication. Oh, shit. Then beyond that is Fibonacci. Oh, dear. Right, so what have I got here exactly? So for each two things in the... Okay, so for every two things, multiply them, then outbox the result. Don't worry about negative numbers for now, so they're only going to give me positive. You've got labels. I've already had labels, so you haven't actually added anything new in. They can help you remember the purpose of each tile on the floor. Just tap any tile on the floor to edit. So I've got to take a number and then multiply it. So... Oh, blimey. Right, okay, get rid of all of that. Get rid of all of that, thank you. Copy from 0, copy to hello, I don't need that. Okay, so... my brain. Okay, let's just talk this through. This is the point where I normally just think about something for 10 minutes, and then I just cut it out in editing. You're going to get to see me fail live. So... in the event that I've got a 5, okay, so take the 5 and let's copy it to 0. That needs to be multiplied by 3. So then let's actually go and pick up a new thing, and I'm just going to copy that. That's copied to 0. I always get copy to and copy from the wrong way around. So the 5's on the ground and the 3 is down there. So... bump, if I was to... okay, hang on. I'm just gonna copy that. I'm just gonna copy that to 1. So now I've got the two numbers that need to be multiplied together down on the floor. So the 5's gonna be over here, and the 1's gonna be over, and the 3's gonna be over there. And I'm gonna be holding the 3. So what I probably want to do is... I'm also going to copy... okay. I'm also going to... okay, no, I'm going to change this. I'm going to copy and copy that too. Now, the reason I want a second version of what I originally copied down on the ground is what I want to do is I want to... I'm still holding what's in 2, which is the second number. I need to basically multiply. And multiply in this game basically means just add as many times as I'm... wait, does that mean I need the first number or the second number? So what I want to do now is I want to take the number that I'm holding, and I want to add itself onto itself. And then I need to bump... okay, I'm gonna take that out. Right now I'm working with 0 and 2. So this is this is just number 1. This is... just let me put it... You said I could use the labels! You said I could use labels for this exact function! Screw you, you said that I actually had labels. Just tap on any tile on the floor to edit it. Yeah, but then how... I just want it to be... okay, so... 1. Yes. I just want to put that over there. Whatever... I hate everything. Right, okay. So let's not worry about that. That's fine. I've just changed the label to say hell, which is appropriate to how I'm feeling right now. Right, Claire, while I think about this and try and make it work, back to you for a second.
Okay, do you want help from the chat?
No, let me have my first go at it first.
Sure thing.
Then we'll go to help for the chat.
Shout out to Mr. Ghost5 who gave us $5 and says, in Crusader Kings 2, you should train your daughters to be ambitious and lustful with high intrigue and then marry them off to your enemies. I'm
slightly worried by the concept of training my daughters to be lustful. I don't like that as a concept. I don't like that as a concept.
No. Anyway, shout out to Tree Shaker Tucker, who gave us £2, and Aaron, who gave us £1, and both of you didn't leave a message, but you can always reply me in the chat with one if you want. Shout out also to Afronaut Starlight, who gave us $5 and says, "Hi John and Claire, I missed this stream a couple of weeks in a row. Glad to be back. John, would you ever consider playing a Pokemon fan game?"
A Pokemon fan game? Honestly, probably not really. Like, if Nintendo ever like let us play Pokemon games and weren't dicks, then that would probably... I can't see a scenario.
I mean, like, if they are dick enough to, like, not let YouTubers play actual games, they'll probably crack down on fan games.
Yeah, I can't think of a scenario.
Yeah.
Okay. That didn't work out so desperately well. Okay, let's just bin that and start again. Let's just bin that and start again. Okay, my thinking is, what I need to do is I can use the bump function to be counting down how many times I have to add on a number to itself. But I'm going to need to have to store the number somewhere in order to actually make that occur. And then I can just put that in a loop, jumping if negative by using the number that's being stored in the bump as the data for how many more times I need to have... how many more times I need to multiply the number, or rather add the number onto itself. That's what I'm going to do, okay? So, take a number, move it into 0, alright? And then also take a number, and then immediately afterwards take another number and copy it to 1. And then you're holding number 2. Okay, so now I've got the two numbers down in 0 and 1. Next up, copy from 0, 1, and copy that to 5. So 5 is going to be my countdown, and it's going to be the countdown of what's in 0, because 1 needs to be multiplied by 0. And actually, after I've copied to 0... I can actually... No, after I've copied to 1, then... Okay, so I can do the first addition immediately. Because, actually, I probably... Okay, don't do that. Don't worry about that for now. After I've copied to 5, then I need to bump 5 down by 1. At that point, I am holding a number that is the number I was originally holding minus 1. In the event that it is 0, at that point, I've got down to a point where I don't need to multiply the number anymore. Okay? So this is just the working for the time being. So then what I need to do... Okay, so you can see the basic principle of what I'm trying to get across here. But there's no actual addition going on here yet. So, copy to 1, copy to 2, and then copy from 0 and put that over to 5. So the first thing I need to do is, after I've got that stored down there, copy from 1. Copy from 1 at that point. So at that point in the process, I am now holding the number that is in 1, and I need to multiply it by this. I need to multiply it by all these numbers. But then why is that? Why is bump... Does bump 5 need to be there at that point? Copy from 1. At that point, add... Yeah, as I'm holding that right now, add on 1. So I've multiplied that by 2. So in the event that the number was 2... then at that point, I now need to store that number in 3. So that number's now been stored into 3. Bump minus 1, add 1. Okay, no. Store that in 3, then bump minus 1. In the event that that number is now 0, then what I would want to do at that point is I'd want to... No, not copy 2. I'd want to copy from... Copy from 3 and outbox the result of that. So jump if 0, but if not, then I want to go back to the beginning. Otherwise, I'd want to bump copy 3, bump -1, and then the bump -1, and then what I want to do is, after I've bumped that, then I return, pick up what was in copy 3, and then add what was originally in... Why did I skip to 3 rather than 1? And then add 1. And continue doing that until it's... Oh, God, this is painful. Right, okay. Put the 4 down. Alright. Put the 3 down. Okay. Put the 4 back down over there. 3, 6. Store the 6. Okay. Check whether... Okay, that's gone wrong. That's gone wrong. But the initial stage was working. The initial... Let's just check to... Okay, to what point was it still working? So I want to just put those down for the time being. Okay. So put the 10 down. Bump that -1. But then I immediately pick up the -1. Okay. So bump that down. And then I pick up the -1. So I don't want to copy that to 3. That just tells me... So at that point... Then jump if 0. So in the event that's 0, at that point I take what's currently in 3 and I dump it out of the way. If, however, the number is not 0, then at that point I want to... No, this is an easy fix. I want to copy from 3, jump back to the beginning and repeat... Oh shit, Claire, I think I've got it.
Yeah?
Claire, I'm telling you, this is about to work in the stupidest way possible. You put the 2 down there. Okay, you get the 10, you store the 10, you check whether that's a 1, and then you... Okay, well, the result's not going to be correct, but it's going to... Not enough stuff the other place. Shit, I think it worked! No, Claire, that works! Claire, I've done it! Ah! It's going to work, it's going to work, it's going to work, it's going to work, it's going to work. I just need to add a jump. Alright, do you want to bet money against it?
No, because I don't... I had to read it. I have to moderate and everything. I don't understand what's going on.
7, 5. Take the 7, store the 7. Add that together, store the 10. Alright, take the 6, repeat to the 10, add another 5 onto that. Continue going until such time as the number falls. Okay, that number keeps going down. Store the 4. Get the 10 again. Add another 5 onto... Wait, hang on.
Why does it always go to 15 every time?
Yeah, okay, there's a problem, which is I'm failing to write... Okay, you should have taken that bet. You would have won a lot of money right there. But the basic... We're almost there. We're almost there. I just need to figure out what's wrong. Claire, over to you while I just stare at this and try to figure out what exactly is wrong with it.
Do you want the chat to, like, help you? Because
hang on.
The chat is, like, all caps. John, please stop and read the chat. Oh, my God.
No, I can do this. I can do this.
Fine. Shout out to Just Sammy, who gave us £5 and says, this needs more bridge ballast. Shout out from Aberystwyth.
Aberystwyth, good town.
Good town. Shout out to Urban Cohort, who gave us $6.66 and says, I see the idea of 0 is giving you as much trouble as it gave the Romans. Which I quite like. Shout out to Aaron, who says, as a developer, the thing that makes me laugh and cry is I've worked with worse developers. Also, can John recommend a game with similar funny voice acting to Borderlands 2?
I don't know. I've barely played Borderlands 2 at all, so I'm afraid I can't because I don't know enough about Borderlands 2. Sorry. I mean, Borderlands 2 had Ashley Birch, was one of the voices in that. What else has she been in where she's done similar work? Look at what Ashley Birch has been in other than Life is Strange. Probably that'll point you in the right direction. Okay. Copy 2, 3. Alright, then bump -1. Copy from 3, add 1. No. Okay. And then at that point, copy the new number to 3. Okay, this...
Oh yeah, she was Aloy, right? She was in Horizon Zero
That's
Dawn.
right, but that wasn't comedy, though.
No, I know, but
you're right, she was Aloy.
I remembered that in the back of my mind, and I was like, is this wrong?
Store the 8, lower the number, grab the 8, add the 12, store the new... Shit, Claire, it's gonna work, 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 it's gonna work.
Shout out to Headbase who gave us $5 and says, I won the bet! John, you owe them a lot of money.
Okay, this is going to, okay, just...
Shout out to Kat who gave us $2 and says, it's gonna work, it's like John saying, I have a plan!
This is fine!
This is fine!
Are you going to return 36 now? Are you going to return... Should you have...
Oh, no. We're sorry, John.
Now, why did it multiply 4 by 10 rather than 9?
Did you tell it to do that? I think maybe you told it to do that.
If I just remove this initial step of add 1, if I just remove the initial add 1, I'm just going to leave a note saying minus add 1 to remind myself this is where that was. Okay, it was right here in step 8. I'm going to try the process again now. So this should return 20. Okay. Wait, what were you supposed to be returning? Oh shit, it's working! It's working!
Yeah.
It's working! Please work. Wait, hang on this. Oh shit, Claire, it's working.
Uh-huh.
Shit, Claire, wait, hang on. Now it's producing minus numbers. Claire.
It did tell you to not mind minus numbers, though.
Yeah, but now it's just going to infinitely produce more numbers until it's never going to stop. Claire, there's a slight problem with the calculator. Damn it!
Shout out to Solar Dragon who gave us £2 and says, why live stream a game that makes my brain hurt, John?
The number just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah, it kind of snowballed on you. Roachbait is correct.
Why is this just stuck in an infinite loop? How did the...
John found a loophole, says Bobtron. DevNom says it cannot handle zeros. Oh, they're enjoying this. They are enjoying this.
Okay, so, so it struggles with zeros because what I need to do is multiply them. Okay, well, I've got a better idea. Okay, no, shut up. I've got a really good idea. I'm going to manually fudge it again. So when I pick up a number, if the number is... Oh, shit. How do I check if both of the numbers are 0? Okay, no, I'm just going to... Okay, I'm going to double fudge it. So there's a jump if... Oh, shit. No, that's if 0. Yeah, jump if 0. Okay, so in the event that a number is 0, then just skip to the bottom, then just outbox the 0. Okay, and then if the event that the other number is also 0, also jump if 0, and then just outbox that 0. Okay, and then in the event that there's any zeros, we'll outbox a 0, because any number multiplied by 0 is 0. Okay, so that's going to be... Okay, this is going to work. Okay, so we've already verified this is going to be able to produce 15. Okay, and this is going to be able to produce 21 very slowly. It's not the fastest way of doing it. And then... No! No! Why did that happen at the end?
I'm sorry.
Why did that happen at the end? Why? What? Okay.
Did you want the chat to actually tell you why?
No! I can fix this. I can fix this.
I'm sorry, you guys have tried.
Jump if 0. At which point I need to... Okay, I need to double check what happened at the end there. So I just need to check what goes on with the zeros. So I just need to get through these numbers. Then I need to add on the zeros. And, okay, so... In a moment, yeah, that's going to produce the 24. Okay, so... Takes the 0 again. And then... Oh, it's because he immediately... Oh, shit. It's because it takes the 0. It takes the first 0 and then immediately... Okay, if the number is a 0, then I've got to jump if 0 to... Ah, okay. No. If there's a second 0, I've got to get rid of that 0. So then I can simply jump to this point, at which point I'll grab the other number, toss the first one away, and then the zeros will still be picked up as a pair. Alright? That fudges it. This fudge is gonna work. Okay, it can deal with all numbers except zeros. And then it's gonna get rid of all of that. Right, this is going to... No, Claire, this is working. This is actually working. This one's going to work, because look, there's still 2 numbers left. No! No! How can you expect 0? That was 9 times 6, which is 54. That's correct!
Hey, John.
Yes?
Shout out to Delacles in chat, who says, John, it's okay to ask for help. So this is an important PSA for everybody. It's okay to ask for help.
Why did that not work? It looks so promising. That looks so promising. Shit, I just need to double check why that went wrong. Okay, it's going to produce the 9. The 9 is fine. And then it's going to produce all of this. This is just supposed to produce the 6. Okay, nice and slow. Pick up the 4. Okay, pick up the 0. Immediately boxes the 0. That's correct. Picks up the 8, tosses that away, then puts the... Right, I see the problem. It's in the event that the 0 is the second number, because in the event that the number is... Okay, so jump if the number is 0, then you need to copy the 0 to 4, and then jump if 0. If the number is 0, then at that point you need to skip the oh shit. Okay, so at that point you're holding a number that is no. Jump, that's copy to the... At that point, the problem was he put the 8 in. So I said jump if 0, so he... Wait, why did he outbox the 8 then? He shouldn't have outboxed the 8. The 8 should have gone into the... Which causes another problem, of course. He shouldn't have outboxed it. He should have put it into the... Oh, that's exactly what he did. Jump if... In the event that the jump... If the number isn't 0, I need to copy to... Alright, Claire, I'm ready to accept help at this point.
Yay!
Okay, okay, yes?
And shout out to Nihale, who says in chat, every time John refuses help, drink!
Don't do that.
Please don't do that.
Okay.
Be safe.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, shout out to Robbie, who gave us £5 and says, tell John he can label tiles by clicking them and to use step back and debug to find the sources of the problems quicker.
Okay. I'm just writing R in my note as well. I can just... Ah, you literally just click on the tile and it just appears. Okay. Yeah, fine.
A lot of people want you to label the tiles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so... okay. Shout out to Venus, who gave us £2 and says this stream is basically if John equals 2, then panic. Oh, which is a type of coding I understand better. Formulae, rather.
Multi-count. Yep, there we go. I'm labeling the things.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see.
Can anyone actually provide me with a solution with what's going on exactly?
Jump if 0 to copy from 0 to outbox.
What? Jump if 0...
To copy from 0 exclamation mark to outbox. So, jump if you've got a 0 to copy from the 0 exclamation mark tile to the outbox.
Oh!
Says Chase. Thank you, Chase.
That would be why they gave us that, then. Yes, okay.
Jesse says N1 is useless.
Yeah.
Guys, you're gonna have to be a bit more specific.
Mm-hmm.
As ever with these, you know.
But I see the sense in what they're saying there. So, in the event that a number is jump if 0, so...
Okay, Dean says if 0 jumps to the end, then if 0 jumps to the end, eat the second one, output 0, jump to start.
Yeah, I'm gonna... Okay, I see. I think I understand what they're going for here. So, Okay, so jump if 0. So in the event that a number is 0, I need to basically skip. I'm just gonna. Okay, so in the event that the first number is 0, screw it, skip right to the end. So this is purely if number 1 that I've picked up is a 0. In the event that number 1 I've picked up is a 0, then I want to copy from 0 and outbox 0. And then I want to inbox. I want to grab an inbox and then I want to immediately jump and toss that away, because that then means the second number doesn't cause any more trouble. Now, however, there's a second alternative, which could be the second number might also... That's if the first number's a 0. That's the easy scenario. If the second number is a 0, then unfortunately that creates a bit of a problem, which is I've already copied a number to... Actually, no, it doesn't. Okay, so in the event that the second number is a 0, I can do a similar thing. So at that point, I need to simply go down right to the bottom, and I just need to copy from 0, outbox that. The 8 has already been put down, but you say that, or whatever the positive number was, but it won't matter anymore. At that point, I can jump back to beginning again. Okay, let's see if that has helped me out here. So I should be able to return the 21. That's not a problem, because this system works with positives pretty well. So it produces the 21. That's great. And then this is going to produce the 36. Grab the 36, outbox that. Okay, let's see how this works. So you put down the 5. That's absolutely fine. But you're going to detect there's a 0. You're going to just grab a 0 and you're going to outbox that. And you're going to move on to the next pair. That works. You're going to grab another 0. You're going to outbox the 0, which is what everyone expects. And you're just going to toss away the 2. Shit, it works! Please work, please don't break, 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 please don't break. I think this is working because this should just be standard positives. Please, 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 please. I'm so happy! I did it! I did it! Oh god, this is the worst thing. I hate this game so much. I need a brief break. Claire.
That's quite alright. I actually have a few questions that you actually need to answer that I couldn't ask you during this because it was too busy.
I just did it.
I know, the chat just did it. Shout out to Alexandra, who gave us £5 and was very patient, by the way.
Oh, gosh.
Because her question was a little while ago.
Okay.
John, would you rather us support you on YouTube Gaming or donate through Patreon? Which do you prefer? Also, thanks for the video and Fallout 4 YOLO. Please.
The tier in terms of, I see the most of it is ads on YouTube at the bottom, then YouTube Red, then YouTube sponsors or whatever they change the name to, then Patreon at the top. As you go up that list, I see more of it directly myself, basically.
Yeah, so Patreon is more favourable for us, but also I think with Patreon you get the biggest reward because you get a patron cast. Yeah,
there's the patron cast, and the occasional, if we do the community days, the patrons were the people given the first refusal, along with the mods and the staff for the community day when we did the Darwin project.
Yeah, and also you can set your amounts, which as a user I definitely prefer to YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, you can probably in terms of say YouTube Red, you can give less to Patreon by a large margin than Red, but the person you're donating to still gets a lot more because it's been divided amongst a lot.
Yeah, because YouTube Red, whatever you donate is divided between all the people that you watch.
Based on view time by minutes, yes. Which is an odd system, but it works for us, but it's an odd system.
Yeah, shout out to James, who gave us £5 and says, "Hello, John, Claire and Tabby, finally watching live for once, so I thought I'd send you some money. Also, John, is the Vive Pro worth the extra money?"
Only if you're really super into VR. The thing about VR is it's so immersive. You even though the basic Vive and the Oculus Rift are quite, technically they're quite blurry because they're so, even with really high resolution, it's so close to your eyes. Absolutely, it's not crystal clear. It's not high resolution, but your brain just accepts it regardless. So it doesn't matter. Your brain doesn't care. So, like, you can absolutely, if you put it side by side, if you put on one helmet than the other, you'd absolutely be able to tell the difference. But, like, after you've been playing a game for, like, 3 minutes, you'll barely be able to see it, I think. So it's really only for VR enthusiasts.
Yeah, because you need to, like, buy both.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think you can actually buy now the Vive Pro and, like, a separate kit. They're not selling the separate kits.
Oh, but isn't that, like...
But it's still more on top of the cost of the Vive Pro.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's still, like, probably $1,000 to get a Vive Pro set up, yeah.
Anyway, shout out to Glass Cannon, who gave us $5 and says, when Fallout 4 YOLO debuts in 2020, what will your stance be on companions in general and Automatron in particular? Love the show. Shout out, hashtag Grills Bears Forever.
As will normally be the case, I imagine I'll take a no companion stance. I haven't decided for certain, but that's very likely given I've always done that in the past.
Yeah. Shout out to John, who gave us $1.99 and says, sorry about 99 cents. It's bugging me too. Is 99 cents bugging us?
Not me.
Yeah, me either.
No, we're good. We're both good. Thank you.
Shout out to Kat, who gave us $2 and reminded us that hashtag John can't get it in is from Euro Truck Simulator.
Yeah, with Matt ages ago. Yeah, I remember that.
Well, if someone was going to make a comment about that, it would be Matt.
Yeah.
Shout out to Thraxis, who gave us £5, £5 even, and says, it's okay, John, it's all nonsense to me too, so right now what you're doing looks like programming with magic.
Shh, damn straight.
Yeah, pretty much, because, like, I'm finding it really difficult to follow the game and also the chat at the same time, so it, like...
Yes.
And it's got too many numbers for me for a logic game. I'm like,
well, the thing was, like, you should have just paid attention because I just solved that in the most efficient way possible.
Yeah, everything about that sentence is right. You solved it efficiently. Definitely true. Anyway.
The only contribution the chat made that was useful was pointing out, reminding me that the 0 existed at the bottom that I could just use. I did 99% of that myself.
They were like shouting at you to let them help for literally like 20 minutes. Anyway, shout out to Kilroy, who gave us $5 and wanted to know, John, have you ever tried Star Wars Empire at War? It's like Stellaris meets Total War minus the diplomacy, sadly, and Thrones Revenge is best mod.
I have played it ages back, about when it originally came out on a crappy laptop that couldn't really run it properly. I have long considered it would make an excellent mini-series, so it will absolutely show up at some point.
Yep. You alright?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're a bit stressed. It's a bit of a stressful one, this. And I'm genuinely scared of the fact that the next little sub-branch has Fibonacci Visitor written on it. Because I can't remember exactly what Fibonacci numbers are, but I remember it's complicated.
Yeah.
So life's not going to be fun. Anything else you want to say, or shall we crack in?
Well, we have quite a few super chats, but also, you know, we try to balance them out. It's just that this is not a really good time for reading them when you're doing this.
This is the back. Okay, let's see how I can deal with the advanced employees only. Are you sure you want to be here? No! Okay, they are difficult. Oh god, what do you want me to do? For each thing in the inbox, send to the outbox the full Fibonacci sequence up to, but not excluding that value. For example, if the inbox is 10, then the outbox should be 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. No! 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 How do I escape from this room? How do I escape from this room? Eject! Rejection! No! 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 No!
People in the chat going, oh, come on, Fib isn't that hard. Like, we're not on a first name, nicknamey basis with it, alright? Like, come on.
No, I'm not going in the Fibonacci room. You can't make me.
Nope.
You cannot make me.
Maybe you should read what they're saying. Maybe that helps, but whatever.
Okay, the inbox is filled with zero terminated strings. Ask me, your boss. Add together all the numbers in each string. When you reach the end of the string marked by a 0, put your sum in the outbox. Reset and repeat for each string. So basically we just need to add everything together until there is a 0, at which point we need to outbox the result. Now, that seems relatively a lot easier to me. That seems relatively simple. So while I just have an initial poke at this, Claire, over to you.
Yeah, shout out to Tough Talk, who gave us $2 and says, then wanted to know, did John break this game?
I think that must have been the point where I got stuck in a loop.
Yeah, I think
where I got
this
it stuck
game
in,
broke John is what we see here, rather than the opposite.
I will make this game get on its knees and beg for mercy. It's fine. The look on Claire's face. Look on Claire's face.
Shout out to Z, who gave us £5 and says, my first stream. I've been binge watching MATN for the past 2 weeks and loving the content. Keep up the good work. Cuddle if tabby equals true.
Oh, yes.
That's very nice. That's always
until you run into a clause out error. All right, let's see what we. Okay, let's just see how this works. Let's see how this works. So I'll put the 2 down. All right, and then I get the 4, and I add that to form 6. I put the 6 down. I get a 0, and as a result, I grab the 6, and then... Why didn't you outbox? That was a 0. Why didn't you outbox the... Hang on. No, stop. Stop. Why didn't you jump if 0 and thus outbox? Hang the flip on here. So you put the 3 down. Fine, you get that. You add them together. Okay, you inbox, you're holding a 0. Oh, it's because that needs to be... Right, okay, there needs to be a new... Can this go down to... Okay, I'm just going to put another jump if 0 right here to the same point as the original jump if 0 goes down. That should work, I think. Just in case... The first jump is 0 is just in the event that the first number is 0. So create a 6... Right, that's a 0. No, don't outbox the 0!
Aww.
If 0, at that point, copy from whatever is in 0 and outbox that. Okay, this strikes me as much more doable. So take that, add them together, replace what was originally there, check that, as it's a 0, you grab that, you outbox that. And then, oh, then I just need a jump at the end. Sorry, I just forgot to put the jump at the end. But actually, I think that should work. Right, well, we're just verifying that. Claire?
Yeah, the chat would like you to click the exclamation mark on the lady with the glasses whenever it pops up, just to see what...
Oh, does she have something to say?
Well, presumably, yes. That would be what... That's kind of what an exclamation mark popping next to a character in a game means, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, shout out to Dusty, who gave us $2 and says, I just came in. What is the game about? By the way, hi Tabby. This was a little while back, so presumably by now you've seen that this game is about John losing his mind.
Okay, slight problem. In the event that the numbers themselves happen to add up to 0, that throws the whole process off. Because the loop gets thrown off. Okay, hang on, let's just look at that again. So this works fine as long as no 2 numbers add up to 0. But in the event 2 numbers do actually add up to 0, that creates a problem. So that, you see, the first one works absolutely swimmingly. The problem that we got is you put that down, you get yourself the -4 right there. That comes over to 3. You pick yourself up a 2 there. That leads to a 5. You grab the... Okay, you grab that, you grab the 5, and you toss that in. This is where things are going to start getting odd. Because at that point, yeah, if the number is 0, then okay. So what you need to do in the event that the first number is 0, and the first jump of 0 is to here, then what you need to do is you need to copy from 5, and you need to outbox that. And then you need to jump back to beginning from there. That needs to be a separate process. Okay, and then the other jump if 0 in the middle. Okay, that should work, hopefully. Right, so... Check that, yeah. No, that ruined it. It was working better before I did that. Why did that just happen? So jump if 0. Alright, then you jump down to here. You outbox the... Okay, where did you suddenly get that 5 from? Copy from 5. Why is there a copy from 5 that... Are these the wrong way round? Hang on, also, where's this supposed to... Oh, shit, I'm completely lost. Right, okay. I think if... Does that work? Get the... No, that's it. No, my brain's just given up at this point. My brain's just gone. I've completely got that wrong now. Right, I'm going to start again. Claire, back to you.
Yeah, shout out to Megaraptor who gave us $30 and
Hello,
says,
Megaraptor.
what did I walk into? Also, hello Claire, I hope your vacation was good. John missed you lots and also tried freezing a linen shirt. I know, I heard the streams. All in all, it was a good stream though I wasn't there. Also, hi John, I hope you're well.
Oh dear. I'm very well.
I mean, he was better before he started playing this game, I think.
Hugely.
I think
Massively
this is what
so.
we got. Yeah. But my vacation was very good. Thank you very much indeed. Shout out to Robbie, who gave us £5 and says, tell John he can label times by clicking them and to use step back and debug to find the sources of problems quicker. I know I read that one already, but I just wanted to reiterate given that you're just not listening to it.
It's fine. I just like watching the whole process play out. It's fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what I've done...
the exclamation mark to see what she's saying.
Fine. Tell me more. What is a zero-terminated string? String is a list of values. How do we know when a string ends? When the begins? Well, when there's a zero. There we go. See? Yeah, it's fine. Simple. Nice and simple. Sadly... Oh, well, hang on. There was an important bit in the middle I didn't bother reading. Wait, hang on. There's...
Who could have seen this coming?
Okay, hang on. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, sometimes a string can be empty. Here are 3 strings. Notice the middle one is empty. So yeah, the strings there are 1, 2, 3, nothing. And then there's a 5 and then a nothing, but there's a 0 there. And yes, sadly, this means means a string cannot contain the number 0, since 0 means something special. Now we know. So in the event of a... So how do you deal with how do you deal with triple zeros in that case? I'd need to have a special process set up. I'm just going to hope there's not a triple zero. I'm just going to hope that there's not a triple zero.
If there wasn't a 000, they wouldn't be bringing it up though.
Okay, but also, equally, what I've also realised then is... Hey, wait, why do I don't need to copy from 5 to outbox. Because in the event the number I've picked up is a 0, then that means actually I don't outbox anything. Because a string can't contain a 0. I don't want to ever outbox a 0. I just need to outbox the sum of the strings. So actually, in the event that a number is 0... then I just want to... Yeah, in fact, actually, in the event that there is a 0, then at that point, I will just, jump if 0. So in the event of a 0, then yeah, okay, then I just want to go back to the inbox and just say, okay, keep tossing away until it's a 0, until it's not a 0 even, because then I need to have an actual... Then the first number in the string will be a positive. So that solves the problem of what happens if there's multiple zeros. Because if there's zeros, I just keep tossing zeros away until the first number is a positive number or a negative number, in which case it can begin a string. So that is actually fine. Okay, then I can just basically recreate what I just had. So then I just copy that to 1. Then I just inbox again, add that to what has already been put into... 0, then I simply jump back to the beginning and add that on again, but eventually we're going to run into a 0 at the inbox stage. So when
Watt says, please remind him sometimes it wants a 0 in the outbox.
No, it can never want a 0 in the outbox. Unless of course the numbers do legitimately add up to 0. But in that event, then all it needs to do is, okay, so when the number I'm holding from the inbox is a 0, at that point, the 0 will always denote the end. Okay, but that's just for the number I'm holding in my hand after the inbox, not that point. So then jump if 0... At that point, I've got to the stage where I can collect the number, I can outbox that number, and then I can go back to the beginning. I think this should work better. So let's just watch this nice and slowly. So I put the 7 down, toss that away. Grab the 5, add those numbers together, get the 12. No. No, 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 no. So I need to actually have got the number stored there. So 5, yeah, get that. Add that together. Okay, so after I've added the 0, then I at that point need to recopy 2, 0. And then that will put the new number down. So put down the 8. Alright, toss it away. Grab that, add them together, put the new number down. Go and check for a number. In the event that it's 0, the new number gets outboxed. Okay, so then 1 gets put down. The -8 comes in. We add those together. That's a -7. We now store that there. We add those together. That's now a 2. Now, the 0 gets just basically... Did that just work? Okay, you toss that away because that's a 0. Yeah, ha! 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 Okay, that worked. That worked. That actually is working. That's now working. That little jump of 0 around the inbox at the beginning actually works correctly, I think. So now that creates 2. That should now go just basically... Now it just continues adding the numbers together. And then that just basically deals with that. That puts the 2 in there. That checks... Yeah, that verifies that's the end of this thing. Fuck. Why did that fail right at the end? Why did that fail right at the end? You had the 2... Okay, hang on. Just go back a step here. And then... Okay, so... You had the 6. Alright. Then the 2. The 0 marked the end of the chain. Wait, what? Okay, just put that back a few steps here. Go back to the steps that were located here. So, a 1, a 3... Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh, this is... Okay, hang on. There's a lot of numbers here. Okay, so you're tossing the zeros away. Fine. So now you put down a 4. Okay, so we're adding a bunch of numbers together. So that goes down to -2. You put down the -2. You bring in the 3. That brings that up to +1. You bring over the 1. That forms 2, 2. The 2's down there. This should go down to -6. Then we bring in the 8. That should be +2. And then the 0 marks the end of the string. So we grab the 2 and... No, you're wrong! I'm right! It is 2! Those numbers add up to 2! Chat, what the hell is going on here? That's literally correct. I got that right.
Okay, just a comment from chat.
Yes.
Secret of Foundo says, it might be useful to avoid getting lost in abstraction to use labels to write out the program as plain human readable text instructions.
Probably,
before
yes.
actually putting down functions.
Yeah, probably.
Because I think a lot of people are getting, like, a little bit confused. Like, it's the second time someone has brought up, like, you know, like, please let's play something else, as much as it's fun to watch John, like, suffer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually getting, like, opinions from the rest of the chat. But, yeah, I think a lot of people are, like, not really getting what's going on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So maybe labels, John. A lot of people have been asking for labels.
We'll start adding labels on, but why is that not right? That should be right.
Okay, if a string is empty, then it equals 0, says Bobtron. 0 length strings sum up to 0. People saying they're enjoying watching this.
Jump if 0. Okay, so hang on. In that case, if you actually need me to put a 0 in because a 0 string actually does lead to that, then copy from 5, outbox that, then jump back to the beginning. So that means a 0 string would actually lead to a 0 being outboxed, if that's what it needs me to do. Which it sounds like that is what it needs me to do. Because, yeah, it's not that the math was wrong. It's that it was asking me to denote a 0 for the 0 string.
Yes.
Right, okay. So that actually starts adding up there. So, let's see. Okay, let's just check if this works now. So, now this time, you're going to put the -2 in. Now, on this occasion, you're going to find a 0. And because you find the 0, you're just going to pick up that, toss that in. And now, are you going to do the same thing again? Is this now another 0 string? Yeah, okay, so you do have to... Okay, so 0 strings need to be acknowledged with a 0. And now this will return the 2 again, if assuming it's the same numbers. Okay, that's it. We got it. We got it. Okay. And it wasn't even that inefficient, all things considered. But I will use proper labels from now on. I'll use proper labels, I promise.
Yeah, I've had people saying that they're enjoying your levels of frustrations and people saying that they, wouldn't mind watching something else, so...
I will try and label this a little bit.
Okay, good.
I'll try and label this a bit better. So...
Shout out to Dude Lowat who says, this is why I quit being an engineer.
Okay, for each zero terminated string in the inbox, send to the outbox only the smallest number you've seen. Oh god, no. You'll never be given an empty string. Reset and repeat for every string. What is zero terminated string? I know that already. So what it's basically asking me to do is every string, which is every set of numbers which is marked to the end of with a 0, it's asking me to pick the smallest number out of that and send that and only that, but the strings can be any length. However, I know there will be no 0 strings, i.e. a string where it's just a 0 and there's nothing in it. Oh god. Right, while I just stare and try and figure out how on earth I'm going to calculate that. Okay, I've got an idea.
Yeah.
So, before I start coding, let's explain this a bit more clearly so people understand it a bit better. So, functions I've got include, I've got addition, subtraction, and I can cause the code to jump in the event of a negative number. Now I need to pick out the smallest number, right? So, logically, if I take two numbers and I subtract one off the other, if I end up with a minus number, then the first number was smaller, correct? You weren't listening to a word I was saying.
I was talking to Venus.
So, in the event that I subtract two numbers off each other and I get a negative, then the first number absolutely was smaller. Because a small number minus a big number will equal a negative, and a big number minus a small number will be a positive. So I can use that to basically, throughout the string of numbers, attempt to calculate, or rather keep throwing away numbers, either replace the number I've got with the smaller number if the smaller number turned out to be smaller, the new number, or keep the number I've already got if the number I picked up turned out to be bigger. That's the basics of what I have to do here. So what I would logically do therefore is, let us say we pick up a number and we simply copy it into one of these cells, yeah? And then we simply pick up a new number. And now we can copy that number into the cell next to it. So this can just be number 1 over here, and this over here is number 2 over here, the challenger number. So I take a number and I dump it into number 1. And then I take a new number, I dump it into 2. I'm still holding number 2 at that point. So then what I do is I subtract what is in number 1. So at this point, I could be holding either a positive number or a negative number, right? In the event that I'm holding a negative number, then hang on, let's just make sure I've got this right in my head. In the event that what I'm holding is a negative number, then that means at that point, N2 was a small number. So in the event that so at that point I want to basically N2 as my champion. So this is, if I'm in this thread, then N2 is the current champion. And if I'm inside here, then that means it was positive. So N1 is the current champion. The champion and the tick indicating which number is smaller. Right? Does that make sense so far to you?
There is no way, even if it were in French, I could follow, like,
an
explanation of math this long. No,
c'est vrai,
no,
si c'est ça. Si c'est ça, malheureusement, N2, c'est vrai. D'accord?
That made 0 sense. Also, I like can't understand an explanation like that if it's just like told to me. I need to like see stuff written down with like schematics and stuff. Like I just don't understand.
I'm going to create a new champ box over here. This isn't necessarily going to be the most efficient way to solve it, but it will make things easier for me to keep my head around. Hopefully, let people follow it easier. So, in the event that so inside this box, I basically want to. So in this case, I copy from. So in the event here, this is copy from champion, because this is N1 as the champion, and copy that to the champ box. Okay? In the event that N2 is the champion, I copy from N2, and I move that down to the champ box. So now, for the first two numbers, what should happen is the smaller number ends up in the champ box. Let us verify that before we carry on any further. So we've got these two numbers. We add them, so as a result, 3 ends up in the champ box. Alright, lovely. And then, no, something did go wrong there. Jump if negative. And at that point, we need to just add a jump on to make sure that doesn't actually happen. Let's just verify that happens again. Yep, so in that case, 3 now ends up in the champ box. Good. So now for any two given first numbers, the champ box will always contain our current winner, which is the smallest number. At that point, I want to probably... Actually, at that point, I can pick up any new number, and I can actually... at that point, I can pick up any new number and throw it into... This will always be to here. This will be to here. This jumps to here. Right, so at that point, what I want to do is I want to take the champ number. In fact, actually, I'll still be holding the champ number at that point. Under all circumstances, I'll always be holding... No, I won't always be holding the champ number, because I might be holding the not champ number. So at that point, what I want to do is I want to copy from the champ box under all circumstances, and I want to move it over to... I'll just move it over to 3. I'm just going to copy it to 3. So that just gets moved over to 3. At which point I can pick up any new number whatsoever, and the new number can basically at that point repeat the actually, can I just repeat the process? Do I need to bother with any of that? Hang on, let's just not overcomplicate this. Get rid of all of that for the time being. Okay, so this is the N2 correct thing, and that is just skipping that. At this point, I now need to bring a new number in and test that against the champion number. Okay, I need to bring in a new number and test that against the champion. So the champ has already been... Okay, the champ has already been stored in box 7. So at this point, I go over and I pick up a new number. Okay, so I need to... Actually, I'll probably want to just copy that into 2 places, because I want to leave the champion box in case, just in case. So, copy from M1, copy from N2, copy to champ, and this box over here can be champ test. Champ T. That's what 3 is. Box, that's where we test the champion against the new number. So at this point, I go and I pick up a new number. The new number is at that point... but then I need to get this looping. I need to get this looping. So the number I'm holding will be the champ. So actually, if I just put the... Copy from M1, copy to N2. In the event that I were to treat N1 as the champ box, and then I were just to loop round to N2, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Because then I could just basically put a loop at the bottom of here. I could just basically put a loop at the bottom of here, back to the beginning, until such time as you run into a 0. Because if I was to be able to just put a jump back to here and just say, okay, now pick up a new number, and then copy that to N2, subtract what's in N1, and then continue the process onwards, N1 could fundamentally always be the champ box. Now, if that were the case, then I could basically copy from... Yeah, then I could get rid of all of this. I wouldn't need to actually bother copying to or copying from anymore. N1 would already contain the champion. And in this case, I would just copy to N1. So N1 is now the champ box. Okay, so we don't need this down here anymore. We can get rid of that and we can get rid of this. N2 is the challenger number. Okay, so we bring in the challenger number. So now we're looping back over here. After the champ is down the first time, I pick up a new number. I copy it into the challenger box. I subtract the champion from it, and then we basically repeat the process. I do that over and over again until such time as I find a 0. In the event that I find a 0, and the 0 needs to start here because there's no 0 string, so the first number will never be a 0, then I can skip to the bottom. I can copy from what's in the champ box, and I can outbox that. And then I can jump back to the beginning. Okay, that logically makes sense to me. Let's just see if this actually flows correctly. So, you put a 3 down, you put an 11 down, and we just do a quick test. And 3 gets left in the champ box. On this occasion, we get a minus number, so 1 gets put in the champ box. I get a 0, and therefore I take the 1 and I output it. That actually seems to work. That actually seems to be working. Okay, so let's verify if that still works correctly. I've picked up a -3, so 16 becomes the new champion. Now what should happen here is we get a minus number, the 6 gets picked up and put in the champion box, we toss away the 16. Same thing should happen now. We end up with a minus, therefore the 4 goes in the champion box. The 0, meanwhile, triggers him to pick up the 4 and outbox it. Boom. Oh, that actually works. Hopefully I explained that a lot better and we had notes. So actually, I'm pretty proud of that. That went a lot smoother. Alright, that went a lot smoother. For everyone who thought I was terrible at everything, I'd just like to point out, yes, actually, I think that went pretty well. I'm pretty proud of that. That will generate that. The 1 will still be there. The 0 will generate picking up the 1. We outbox. Boom. I'm proud of that. That was good.
Shout out to Work in Progress in the chat who says John est meilleur en français qu'en programmation.
Hang on. Where's that?
That's in the chat.
Ah, no.
You don't get a cheat.
Boo. Say it again.
John est meilleur en français qu'en programmation.
John is better at French than programming. Yeah, you see.
It's
true.
Definitely great.
That's true.
Shout out to Vapentrath who says, I'm glad I'm not the only one who doesn't understand a word of what's going on.
Hopefully that one made a lot more sense. I apologise if we kind of slightly bumbled through the first two a bit more. I'm hoping that one made a lot more sense to you.
Well, Dean says you're getting better. Travis
Yay!
says, nicely done. Travis gave us $15 and says, I'm late, very late, so I won't be watching now, but I'll watch late tonight. John, stop overcomplicating things. My brain is hurting trying to follow your logic.
I think that one made a lot more sense. Alright, is the chat, vaguely impressed with me? Okay, I'm going into the cumulative room to see what's going on in there. What is going on in the cumulative room? I think something about calculating the volume beneath staircases. We have to put the interns somewhere. So for each thing in the inbox, outbox the sum of itself plus all numbers down to 0. So for example, if the inbox is 3, outbox should be 6, outbox should be 6 because 3 plus 2 plus 1. Okay. So, yeah, 3 plus 2 plus 1, and for 4 it will be 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, so it will be 10, etc. And the game has also given me a 0 box right here. So, okay, what I need to do, obviously this is going to be utilising the bump function. So, my starting principle is pick up a number, put it down somewhere, and then also put it down somewhere else. And then what I need to do is basically take the number and then bump the number down, add that onto the first number, and then continue bumping the number down, then adding it back onto, and then restoring that number. Okay, I understand. I think I get this. So, pick up a number, okay, and then immediately copy it into my starting box of 0. And also put it into the box next door. So this is my actual number storage box. So this is where we actually keep like the cumulative number as time goes by. And this is the countdown box. Okay. So this is where we do the countdown for how long is it going to be until such time as we're actually ready to actually outbox a number. So, and we've also got to bear in mind there's a 0 coming as well. So, inbox the number and put it into both of those positions. In the event, however, that the number is 0, then simply it will just be, I just need to basically manually hack a 0 in. So in the event of 0, we just outbox a 0, because 0 plus itself down to 0 is just 0. So in the event I pick up a 0, we just bypass all of this. So this area is just for positive numbers. So we bypass all of that, so we don't need to worry about the 0. So we've now got we've got number storage and we've got the countdown box. And I'm still holding the original number. So in this first case, I'm already holding a 3. Now, at this point, I simply bump down the countdown. So the countdown is now 2. And I'm also holding 2. So at that point, I simply add that to number storage. So at that point, I've now got a 2 there and a 5 is being, and I'm holding a 5. So add that to number storage and then copy the new number I'm holding into number storage. So now I was holding a 5 and now 5 is now the new number right there. At this point, I believe we jump back to the beginning and we can simply repeat that process. But at some point, I will hit a 0. In the event that I am holding a 0 after I do the bump, so jump in the event of 0, because if I'm holding a 0, that means I've officially got down to nothing. So after I've done the bump, at that point I skip down to the process of grabbing the number that's stored in number storage and outboxing it, and then going back to the beginning. I don't know whether that's going to work for certain, but it seems like a decent starting point. So let us verify this. 3 gets put in number storage and also in the countdown. That's lowered to 2. That becomes 5. 5 becomes stored. That becomes 6. That becomes 0. And as a result of the fact that's 0, I pick up the 6 and we output the number correctly.
That seems to work fine.
That seems to work fine. So now this should just simply create a 3. That becomes 0. As that's 0, we pick up the 3 and we outbox the 3. Now the 0 I've put a hard kind of basically a fluff into. If we pick up a 0, we just say screw you. And then we've got... Why did that...
You went back to the wrong spot. You didn't go back to inbox.
I did. So what happened after I threw the 0 in was the jump if 0 threw me to... Yeah, it needs to actually be here. I think actually that should fix it. The jump if 0 just needs to move down over to here because it had the extra instruction copied from. So now these two should work exactly the same as last time. And now that's all absolutely fine. That will actually represent quite a big number in the end. Screw you. And that goes over there. Now, picks up the 0, outboxes it, and now goes back to the beginning. Yeah, it was just the jump if 0 was not pointing in quite the right spot. This should now work correctly. And that should be... That was quite smooth.
Yeah, no, that was quite smooth. Also, I mostly understood it.
Yeah. It's because I'm an excellent teacher. Claire's not
No, it's because
convinced.
you didn't go on for like 5 million years before testing it.
Fibonacci. You want Fibonacci? Fine. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Wait a minute. Is that a message from someone in chat who says Claire got the first time and the third time quite right? To be fair, the second time I was confused because of John's pronunciation of it. Stop insulting Claire. Anyway... Delicles, who's been pushing for hugs for you this entire time, now says no hugs for John. You need to smack him for that.
Shh.
No one is smacking anyone.
No. No. Oh god. The full Fibonacci sequence up to, but not exceeding that value. And luckily the game gives me the Fibonacci sequence. So in the event of 19, I need to outbox 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, then 19. Wait, do I need to actually outbox the 19? I need to outbox the full Fibonacci sequence up to Fibonacci leading. No, I do not need to outbox the 10. So I just need to outbox the Fibonacci sequence.
Okay.
Oh god.
I will read you this message from Dusty back again, which I kept just, I kept back.
Yeah.
He says, 1 + 1 = 2. Then 2 + 1 = 3. Then 3 + 2 = 5, and so on.
Yeah, I can see that there. So in the event that I could just get like a cell that I knew that had 1 in it, it wouldn't be too difficult for me to basically create a Fibonacci sequence. The question is, how do I get a cell down which I know contains and must always contain 1? And in theory, I could just basically subtract a number off itself. Okay, and if I subtract a number for itself, I'll always end up with 0. If I could use the bump function until I could use the bump. I could put a number down, and I could use bump minus to basically have that number always be. Oh bloody hell! How would I put the instructions in to make a number get down to 1? So if I can just get and know that there's a cell, like if I could just have like 4 be the magical 1 cell. Oh me. If I could just make that the magical 1 cell, then it's not a magical penis. Alright, I can see that look on your face. I have not just drawn a magical penis.
I did not think it was a magical penis, John.
Okay, I just need to get a 1 in the magical penis box, and then
oh my god,
at that point, I can basically do it. Because then I can say, okay, return that number, then return that number plus itself, and then return like the new stored number plus that. At that point, it becomes fairly simple.
Hey, John.
Yes?
The chat has the answer of what to do.
Do you think I should just... can I at least give a shot at trying to figure it out myself before the chat just tells me? Or does the chat just want to tell me?
I mean, the chat is kind of wanting me to tell you. But, I mean...
Well, okay. If give me until the end of you catching up to figure it out for myself.
Okay.
Okay. If I haven't figured it out by the time you get to the end of the donations, you can tell me.
Shout out to Tough Talk, who gave us $2 Australian and says, #Claire for president, because reasons.
Seems like a terrible idea to me.
Shout out to Michael, who gave us £5 and says, hey John, Claire and Tabby, how are you all coping with this?
No, I get it! I just got it! Ha! 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 Ha!
What are you
ha,
gonna
ha,
do?
Ha! Ha! What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy the number to 0, I'm gonna copy the number to 1. Then I'm gonna bump 1 by 1. At which point I will be holding the original number plus 1. At that point,
nope.
I simply... Yes.
That's not what they said.
Well, screw you. My solution is better. Wait, that's what bump does. And then I deduct the original number. Okay, and then I simply copy that to 0. Now, if I'm right, this should lead to 0 under all circumstances containing 1. So 19, 19, 20, minus 1, bump. Boom. Okay, that's got me a guaranteed 1.
But that's also got you an error.
Yeah, but that's because I haven't outboxed anything at this point. Okay, no.
Can I finish the thing I was telling you before you
may now do so, yes.
Okay, shout out to Michael, who gave us £5 and says, how are you all coping with the heat?
Not well.
Hope there aren't more shirts in the freezer. Also to John, house?
I told them the house story. I love the house story.
I know, I was there. The house story is great.
Oh, I thought it might have been while you were away. Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Okay.
when we're not streaming and when John's not recording, we have fans, but the rest of the time we do not have fans.
Yeah, when I'm actually recording this, we can't have fan noise being picked up and doors get closed. The room I record in becomes a bit of a sauna. It's unpleasant. It's unpleasant.
Yeah, so obviously the chat had another solution that they were giving you that is simpler.
Yeah.
And are like, I'm dying of laughter. That works too, I guess. No. My solution is better, says the guy who thought Wales was the attacker.
There will be justice for Maradud. There will be justice.
There better be justice for Maradud, John.
There will be hashtag justice for Maradud. There will
By
be.
the way, in case you were interested, Maradud was one of those times where I noticed John's perception -1 thing when I was editing and then viewing through the video. And then I went up to him and I was like, this is what happened! He had no choice!
Okay, it's fine. Okay, so wait, does outboxing mean you no longer hold it? Does outboxing actually get rid of the item in your hand? Yeah, it means you no longer have it in your hand. Fine.
So are you going to have to do your solution like every single time then?
No, at that point I can start actually... At that point I can... Okay, hang on. No. So this is the... If I make this the... If I put that into the... This box now gets redone as the ultimate, the arbiter box. This is the arbiter box right here. This is an important box because this box has got the 19 in it. So we also copy the original number to here. Because once we're done with this, what we're going to have is we're going to have a number that we don't care about inside 1 because it's artificially too high. We have a 1 inside box 0, and we have the 5. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so this here is now going to be the 1 box. So box 0 is now box 1. I should probably have box 1 being box 1, but okay. So box 1 is now going to be renamed not 1. So what we've got is. We've got box 1, box not 1, box 2, box 3, box star, box 5, box 6, box 7, box 8, box 9. And 9 contains 0, because of course it does. So, as a result, at this point, the situation we find ourselves in is I outbox number 1. I pick up the 1. I pick up the 1, I add the 1, and then I actually copy the result to 2. Okay, so 2 is also that. Okay, that can be the storage box. That is storage. Okay, so I've now taken the 1 and I've got a 2 and I store the 2 right there. So at that point I just... But then the Fibonacci sequence needs to get progressively... I need to find a way to completely automate this. So I store that number.
If only there was a way of doing this thing with the 1 that was like easier than 5 whole steps.
It's fine, Claire. I'm good. I can solve this. I can solve this. So we copy that, and that should mean, as a result of that, so we get the 8, we create a 1, we also get a whole bunch of 8s down. We get the 1 there. That creates a 1. We slap down a 1. We can put the 1 in because we need to start getting some more stuff down there. We then create the 2. The 2 gets put down, and then we could actually put the Fibonacci sequence down. Wait, why does the 1 need to be... Oh, cock. The 1 needs to be put in twice. Okay, I'm just going to manually hack that. So the 1 gets put in twice. Then we put in the 2. Okay, and then we then... Okay, but that's also a bit of a manual hack, admittedly, because the store might contain anything at that point. So at that point, we add what's in the store, because the store at that point should contain... Does the store contain 2? And then we add the store, and then we outbox that, and then we just jump to doing that. Is that how that works? Hang on. Let's create... Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a 1 together with storing all these. We'll figure out how to only be the right number of Fibonacci sequences later. So we put a 1 in, and you can't outbox with empty hands. Oh, I need to go and get a new one. Copy from 1, because I need to put an extra 1 in. At this point, I'm just manually hacking at first. That needs to be...
I mean, look, no one who's ever worked in, like, programming or anything is saying that we don't, you know, very often do weird manual hacks like that, but it's not good.
Okay, so hang on. Hang the flip on here. Okay, let's just get all of this out here. Okay, I can see why this is stupid. I'm going to start all this again. So we take the 1 and we put the 1 into the... Okay, so the 1 and the... Okay, copy 2. You know, I'm gonna use the box 5 is going to be the fib calc box. Okay, I'm going to use 1 and 5 to calculate the Fibonacci numbers. All right. So right now, all we've got is we've got 2. So 2's not going to be... The store box isn't going to be used anymore. Okay. What we're going to have is I also need the... Okay. Run the test. So this basically, at this exact point in time, all we have is a 1. Okay. So I've got myself a 1. So at this point, I can start outputting Fibonacci numbers, because at this point I can simply outbox the 1 I'm holding. Alright, and then I copy from 1 and I add what is in the fib calc box. No, let me finish. Then I add what's in the fib calc box, and that will be 1 again. And I copy whatever I'm holding to the fib calc box, and at that point I outbox whatever I'm holding. Okay, and then I jump to the beginning, and that should lead me to actually be outboxing a Fibonacci sequence. However, it won't stop at the right point. So we'll deal with that later, but let's just see if this process works. So I can create a 1, okay, and then I can outbox a 1, and then I'll take that, and you can't add with an empty value on the...
What?
Oh, no, I need to use 9 instead of... apparently that doesn't count as a 0. So I need to use the 9, because I've got a hard-coded 9 down there. That's what that hard-coded 9 is for. So all I need to do is... That's fine. So get rid of that. No, I got this.
You don't have a hard-coded 9.
No, as in box 9, a hard-coded 0.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then that just needs to be copied to 9. So 9 is my new fib calc box. Okay, so that's absolutely fine. Aside from the fact that I also need to create... no, and then I can create a new 0. No, I can create a new 0 in the store box if I need a new 0 down the line. Shut up, Claire. This is... They asked me to do this. They want me to suffer. Okay? So now I put that 1 in. I take the 1 and I add... That was weirdly sexual. Then I take the 1 and I put that down. Okay, and now I take the 1... and I add that. That creates 2. That is now a Fibonacci sequence. I take the 1 and I add the 2. That's a 3. Okay, and then I take the 1 and then that becomes 4.
That's not right.
That wasn't right. Okay, fine. I'm willing to accept help at this point.
Hey, John.
Yes?
You know you have a hard-coded 0?
Yes?
You know you could bump that to get a 1?
Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck! Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh! Oh!
In the words of some beautiful human in chat, all caps, John, you stubborn fuck!
But if I do that, what if the number coming in I'm now pretty confident with a guaranteed then 1, a guaranteed 0, and the 4. I think I can't do this. Then I count out. But I guess why did I count out later to Fibonacci numbers? That won't actually do that because everything else literally. Okay, so I'm now pretty confident with a guaranteed 1, a guaranteed 0, and I get 4 above acting as Fibonacci. I think it's starting to count out. Also, I count out 0, I also Fibonacci numbers. That won't actually just say. Right, so fuck that. Fuck that room so fucking hard. Don't.
You just hard quit?
I don't care.
You didn't save any of it?
No.
Oh my god.
No, I did not. Oh dear. I'm slightly worried by the fact that there is now new stuff. There is now new things.
Okay, wait a minute. What is this? then?
Imagine each thing in the inbox is an address. Each address refers to a tile 0 to 9 on the floor.
Sure.
Your task for each address in the inbox, pick up the letter at the... For each address in the inbox, pick up the letter at that address and outbox it. Congratulations, you can now access tiles on the floor indirectly. Observe this example to see how that works compared to how you've been doing work so far. Okay, let's see what that does. So, hang on, do that again. So, copy from 12, and the 8 is...
Was because there's an 8, it goes to the tile number 8? Is that what it is?
Yeah, tile number 8. So, copy from 12, and then copy from...
Copy from tile... Yeah, okay.
But why is that written like that, and why does it go to 8?
Because that says copy from tile 12.
Yeah.
And then copy from the tile
that 12 refers to.
That 12 refers to.
Ah,
right. And then that, you outbox that and you continue. Why are you taking that up?
Because I want to know whether... I just want to see how I set that. Okay. So I set that with a switch now. Okay. So... all I need to do is... yeah, so they all represent things. So imagine each thing is an address, and each address refers to tiles 0 to 9. Well, this seems like this should be quite simple. I simply inbox, at which point I am holding a number. I then simply copy that to a given location. Doesn't matter, but I may as well overwrite that. Except, yeah, I just basically write that there. So I put a number down. At which point I then... I copy from the same one, but flick it over to the indirect. Then I outbox that, and then jump back to beginning. This is just introducing that. So does that just work? So 2. Write the 2 down there, and then grab the A, outbox that, and then just, yeah, okay, fine. So I can copy to that spot, and then copy from the exact same spot, because now I'm just using the referring file. So this is just introducing that mechanic. So this one's actually... I like this room better, Claire.
Yeah.
I like this room so much better. I really enjoy this room. This room is lovely. Look at that. You just put the thing down, and then you just grab the thing, and then the puzzle's solved. I like this room a lot more. I like this room an awful lot more. I got all the bonus objectives. Claire, I got an A. The game gave me a pat on the head. I approve. I flipping approve. Right, okay. Manager requesting strings from the floor. Let's process the strings and not read them or discuss what they say. So each thing in the inbox is an address of a tile on the floor. Fine, we knew that already. For each address provided in the inbox, outbox the requested item from the floor and all following items on the floor until you reach 0. So in the event that, say, a number 4 shows up, you want me to outbox T and then O, T, E, and G. That's what you want me to do. And I've not got much space, and I can't really overwrite these cells, so presumably, therefore, I just need to use the bump function over and over. So that strikes me as reasonable. So grab a thing, and then almost certainly we want to copy it to this cell down here. Because I can't overwrite any of these letters, otherwise I'll be in trouble. I can't overwrite the letters. So, as a result of that, so copy to 24. So now the 4 is down there. So at which point I want to copy from what that is referring to. So copy from this, what it's referring to, and then outbox that. And then after I've copied from that, then I can outbox that, and then I want to bump that down. I want to bump down that. And then I can just repeat that, can't I? Because then, once I've bumped that down, if I just jump back to the beginning, I just... outbox from the new spot it's referring to. Right? Hang on. Just check out if that how actually works, how I think it's going to work. So 4, grab the T, outbox that. Bump the number down. Figure out what that's referring to. That grabs the 0. And expected H? Did they? Hang on. Why would you expect an H at that point? Outbox a requested item from the floor and all. Oh, all following items. Oh, that's not a 0 here. Not a 0 here. A 0 is in a green. Ah, that's trickier. That I see where we're coming from. Right, okay. So the idea is very similar, actually. So outbox that first number. And then, okay, no. Grab that. If 0, yeah, jump if 0. So there's got to be a special thing going down to the bottom for a jump if 0. And then, but if it passes the jump if 0, at that point you're allowed to bump it. Once you've bumped it, hang on, I'm just gonna let that run. So put the 4 down. Okay. Get the reference, grab the T. And then, oh no, you need to... Actually, it doesn't matter if you do it in that... No, yes, it does matter if you do it in that order. Swap that order around. So grab the thing, put it down. So, T, outbox that. Go down here, bump it. That now refers to 5. Go to the 5, dump that down. Alright, so check a 6. 6 turns out to be 0. And then I jump to the bottom, so that actually works at that point. Because I do not want to outbox a 0. So at that point, I just want to jump back to... well, hang on, at that point I just jump to beginning, don't I? Because then I can just pick up a new thing, I can just toss that away. Let's just verify that actually works correctly. So, toss down a 4. 4 picks up the T. Outbox that. Bump it. Grab that. Goes to 5. Grabs the H. Dumps the H down. Bumps it. Grabs a 6. 6 can, however, hit a 0. We throw that away, and we start again. And now we copy that to 2 there. We grab the E. We outbox the E. And then we bump it. And that's actually, I think actually, a fairly nice 7-step solution. Let's just check if that runs into any problems with zeros or whatever. But hopefully it should not. No, it seems to actually be running correctly on only 7 steps. Good. Excellent. You see, I like the not side rooms. The not side rooms are much better. Claire, back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Alice, who gave us £5 and says, John, I'm writing a comic about historians. Give me a silly Latin phrase to put in it.
Oh, God, my Latin idioms. Oh, God, I've probably forgotten all my Latin idioms.
It's Terra Pratchett Latin or something.
Oh, God. I can't think of a Latin idiom off the top of my head because I mainly studied poetry and high literature that wouldn't have included idiomatic Latin. Oh, God. I mean, I know quotes and I know comedians, but I can't think of a snappy Latin idiom. Like it wasn't big on idiomatic. It was a very structured, regular language. So I'm sorry. I will try and think of one for you, but I cannot think of one off the top of my head. I cannot, sorry. Alright, let's see what we've got here. So for each 0 terminated string in the inbox, reverse it and put the result into the outbox. So I've got... Okay, so I've got a string here, and I can... Actually, now I'm just curious. Hang on, I just want to check one thing, which is if I take a letter, and then I copy it to any given space, and then I bump it down, how do you bump down a letter? Can you bump down a letter? Does it become like a... No, you can't bump with a letter. What would that even mean? I was about to say, was it going to become like, you know, an N? Could it become an N?
Uh-huh.
But no, it didn't. So, get rid of that in that case. So, the words are of different lengths. And if I'm going to, and obviously I can't use like jump if negative here, presumably, because letters can't be negative. Letters are always positive. So the jump if 0 and jump if negative thing stops meaning anything. Bumps become irrelevant. You can't add things together. This is just a case of figuring out how do you reverse something in a automated fashion in the event that it's a different length. Because if all of the strings were the same length, it wouldn't be that hard to do, because I could simply put them down and pick them back up again. But in the event that all of them are different lengths, well, I guess I can use the jump if 0 function to say, okay, we're now done. Except, oh god, I now need to do this with, oh dear. Right, hang on, does this need to be done? Okay, so inbox something, and then copy it to 0. Say, oh, but this needs to be the oh, right. Right. So, grab that, and then grab that and copy that to here, for example. But I need to have inbox, yeah, jump if 0 constantly. Jump if 0s need to go after, okay, hang on, but they can't go to the same letter. They can't go to the same box. Inbox needs to go to 0, then nothing needs to go to a different box, otherwise it will overwrite the original, and then that would be lost forever. So I can't just have a jump, I need to have... This is going to have it to use this, isn't it? This is where this is going to start getting complicated. Except on this occasion the boxes don't have anything they refer to. So do you think this does anything? In a world where... I mean, that would suggest I would copy to, like, this over here, right? If it was set to that. Because that's reference to. So that's copy to here. But that will be copy to... No.
Are you going to need to use reference to in order to keep it... Because you were saying the problem is it's not always the same length. Same length of a word, and so you can't hard-code it. So do you need to use reference to in order to make sure it's not hard-coded?
I think so, but
like
if I had a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 along here, I could keep going until such time as I hit the 0. Yes.
Are you able, if you pop the letters from inbox into the grid up to a 0, you can do that.
To a 0.
Copy from inbox up to a 0, fine. Can you then have basically a lookup that says, you know, go to the last cell that's not empty and then start from there?
I don't think so. I don't see how I'd do that. I mean, I see a solution where, in theory, I could just basically start off by hard-coding a 1, 2, 3, 4 along here, and then basically just saying, lay down words until you run into a 0, and then for, like, this, you know, this corresponds to 0, this corresponds to 1, etc., and then when you run to a 0, stop counting.
Okay.
But that can't be a good thing.
I mean, so you have the possibility of referencing.
Yes.
And you already have a hard-coded 0, so you can use that to reference the first cell. Right?
Yeah, absolutely,
so we can probably work from there. Because you can...
Chat, give us the idea here. Give us the starting point. Not the solution, just a starting point. What has chat got to say for itself? If I take...
Bump 14 and copy to address location. Does that make sense to you?
I can bump 14, that would force that to...
a 1.
1.
And copy to the address location.
I see, okay, I see what they mean, which is, if I basically say, okay, reference, if I was to say, okay, copy from this location, and then I'd grab this, and then copy from this location, and then bump it, then copy, and then I'd get this, and bump and then copy and I get this.
But
how does that help the problem of all the words being the different length?
Secret Elf Founder says, use tile 14 to store the current length of the string by bumping tile 14 whenever you see a non-zero value from inbox. So presumably as you are copying stuff from the inbox into the so presumably what you do is you do a string that goes inbox to tile 0.
Yeah.
Then bump.
Yeah.
Inbox to next tile, then bump.
Yeah.
And each time between that you check for a 0.
Oh no,
and
but no, it's more. No, it's more than that. It's more than that as well. It's because we want to. Okay, here's what you want to do. You want to grab a thing, and you want to copy it to down over here because you can't be holding when you bump because bumping replaces whatever you're holding. Because the thing is, we need this to be standardized. So what we then need to do is, though actually the first one is fine. The first one is safe to just basically put down wherever because we're not going to change anything. But just for the sake of it, I'm gonna have it all automated, even though it adds an additional step in.
Why are we copying to 13 and not to 0?
Because I want every number to be put to 13, and then we use the copy to reference to move it to 0, to 1, to 2, to 3, to 4. But it needs a fixed place to live while I'm bumping. And then I can just basically keep laying out the words until such time as a 0 shows up. Now, you're right, I don't think I actually need it on the first occasion, but I think I need it for every subsequent occasion. So I can just basically, drop that one out, fine, and then just put that one down there, because that's the first letter. But after that point, I need to inbox again, then copy to 13, then bump 14, and then bump 14, and then copy. Hang on, but how do I make 14? Oh, but wait, is that how that works?
Okay, Richard says, do the first bit, the rest will then be obvious. Oh, I like that. Claire got it, John doesn't. John, this sounds like a very poor idea.
So put it, hang on, put this down, grab a new one, put it down here, bump this, and then, bump that, and then copy from 13, then copy to whatever 14 is pointing at.
Bump after you pick up, John.
And then jump, yeah. Okay, I just want to check if this works. Because then this, and then I just pick up a new one, and then we repeat the process. So let me just check if this works. So, T, put that down. Put that down over there. Bump. I grab the 1, but then I grab the H, and then I put that over there. And then I throw that away. And then, there you go. So that does work. That does actually get the words down. It's just right now we don't have any way of dealing with the fact the 0's coming. So that there is a process that does actually get the word down. So get that down over there, pick up the K is now down. But the problem is it has no way of dealing with the fact the 0's bad. So now next up I need to get something in for the 0. So in the event that it ever finds a 0, then it needs to basically either from here or from here. If it ever finds a 0, it jumps down to here. And the result for the 0 is we now enter the second bit of the equation, which is the 0 means the word is now complete. So a 0 means now this is, we now need to start reversing the word.
People are saying you should bump after copy to.
But it does seem to be working.
I know it seems to be working, but people are saying you don't actually need 13. You don't actually need to copy the letters into 13.
But bumping means I can't be holding a thing at the letter anymore, so I need to store it somewhere, don't I? Unless I inbox after I bump.
Is it not possible to do, like, copy T, copy inbox to 0, bump 14, check if the next, go to inbox, check if it's a 0. If it's not a 0, copy it to 0 and then bump 14, go to inbox, check if it's a 0. If it's not a 0, go to the next thing
I think
And
they're
then
right
bump.
that I could take a step out, but I think it works, so I'm not going to, because I'll get myself
Sure.
confused and I'll break it. Like, if it works, it's good enough, I think. So now we just need to reverse the process, because now, what we should have at the end of this is a whole bunch of words there, and the number in 14 will now be referring to whatever number needs to be picked up. So now, actually, it's a fairly simple process of reversing it. So at that point, at the end of that process, whenever the 0 shows up, we simply start copying from whatever...
Reference 14.
Exactly, yeah, reference 14, you're right. Copying from reference 14, and we can then outbox that immediately, and then we can simply...
Bump down.
We can bump down 14, and then we should just be able to repeat that process.
Yeah, jump before that.
And then jump before that. But there also needs to be, in the event that I've reached... What happens when I run out of letters at that point?
Okay, well, can you run that and see if it works first? Because you keep doing this where you're like, you think of a step and you do it, and then you don't implement it at all.
Right, so put the initial word in. Okay, oh, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. So boy gets thrown in. That's now correct, but now this becomes -1.
Okay.
And now tiles with address -1 does not exist.
Okay.
Where do you think you're going? So I need to basically put some form of restriction in the event of 0, in the event of 14 being 0. But
Yeah.
I think we're not doing bad.
Shout out to Crazy Dwarf who says that's very true. If it works, it works. The next boss can optimize it.
Yeah, damn straight.
That's how it goes. Okay, so what do we do in the end? Because we need to basically tell it. Okay, so what we need to tell it is we need to tell it that when we reach reference 0, we stop. We go back to inbox to do the next word.
Yeah.
So we need to, when we get to.
I think here, if we just put a jump if 0.
No, because if 0, that's a jump if 0 is jump if the content of the cell is 0. We're saying
No, it's not. Jump if 0 is jump if the contents of your hands is 0.
Fair enough.
After I bump, if that makes that 0, then at that point I will. Oh, but then I think I don't put the. I think at that point I might not put the final letter in. I think the problem is this might actually lead me to not put the 0 letter down, which is unfortunate. But let's just get that down. So we're reversing the letters.
Yeah, okay, so you're missing.
Yeah. So basically,
Okay,
we missed one letter.
Can you? Okay. Can you bump it? Oh, not bump. That's not the right wording. Can you just slide it a little bit so that your letters are being written to 1 instead of being written to 0, and so 0 is not a...
Presumably, yes. Copy to... Yeah, if I just basically have that as copy to... Yeah, that just needs to be replaced with a copy to 1 here. And then I just need to add an additional bump before I do anything. There just needs to be an additional bump before we begin the process. Yeah, the very first step just needs to be a bump.
Okay, Bobtron says, instead of that jump if 0, why not jump if negative?
Does the thing throw a fit if it becomes negative full stop? Because there's no such thing as a negative reference. I'm gonna see if my stupid system works first. If I just basically...
Yes, try and implement your system first, John.
I'm gonna make the stupid system first. Well, this seems to be working so far.
Yeah.
So right now that's becoming... Yeah, okay. So let's just check this all goes down. So... this... Yeah. Check if working.
Yeah, so what you've done, I think, is that when it started the second word, it tried to put a letter in the 0 address, I think.
Ah, did it?
Yeah.
0, copy to 13, bump to 14. Why would it do that, though? There's no hard-coded instruction to ever take a letter to 0.
Well, run it again, slower.
Right, so I bump that to 1, right, and then I grab the letter, and the letter gets copied into 1. Okay, so all of the... as a starting point, it goes up to 1, 2, 3, which is fine. That's all correct. So that's working well. Next, it goes back to the beginning. It detects the 0, and then it copies from 14, and now starts reducing the number, picking up the relevant thing, and throwing it away. That goes down to 1. It finds the A, it throws that in.
Does it then go
and then it goes back
into
to
0?
Why does it turn that into 0 at the end? Actually, if I just make that there.
Yeah.
Wait, will that make... Check if work. Definitely not. Oh, okay. Because then it doesn't do the final bump it needs. Because it's already jumped. Because it hits the 0 beforehand.
Yeah, shout out to Thomas Richter who says, I can't watch this. Bye, guys. Sorry, Thomas. I'm really sorry.
I feel like we're close to having a solution here. Okay, what was your solution that wasn't my stupid solution? You had a solution that was less stupid.
Yeah, like a million years ago, and then you ignored me and I forgot. Like, I can't do this without doing it.
Okay.
Okay. Let's start again. What people have been saying is that the third...
Yeah, let's go for the jump if negative thing. That was your suggestion. Just get rid of that and just jump if negative.
It wasn't my suggestion.
Let's see if
Okay.
Let's see if they're willing to accept that.
Listen, Bobtron says if John removes that first bump plus and changes jump to 0 to jump if negative.
I just did, and it threw up some form of error.
Yeah, but it says remove that first bump plus.
I did. It's gone. It's gone.
Okay.
Hang on.
So let's go.
Let's just go. Okay, so put the H down. That's correct. Then at that point, put the E down. You detect that's the E. The E goes into the right place.
Sure thing.
Okay, so this is... Wait, what?
Now, the problem is...
What did you just do?
Now
What did you just do?
It writes over 0.
Why does it do that?
I don't know. There are tabs. What does that mean, there are tabs?
I don't know.
We don't know what you mean, Thomas. Sorry.
Okay. Why does that overwrite that? So that becomes 1, picks up the E, and gets referred to 1.
I mean...
What? Hang on. What?
That doesn't...
Why does that step happen? Ah! Okay. Okay, it's because I think I was telling it to re-inbox. Okay, this might fix it.
Shout out to What Is Happening...
That's a very appropriate username.
Yeah, who gave us £2 and says Stack Overflow it, which is a thing. We definitely, both of us, completely understand what it means.
You might.
Nope.
Okay, so the brain is now being put in correctly.
Okay.
The question is now that we've got the negative, will the second...
bump it back to 0 when it's negative.
If negative, then bump.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just
you can
check
use
how...
tabs to try multiple things. What tabs?
No idea what the tabs are.
Tabs meant at the top of the program now are tabs, so you can have a blank slate without throwing away your current material.
Okay, let's just check what this actually does at this point. So, that's 0. It detects the B. It throws the B in.
Okay.
It bumps. It detects a negative. Oh, I think it might actually have worked.
Nice.
I think because it didn't try and go anywhere, it actually figured itself out. And even if the second word is smaller, it doesn't matter.
Ah, no. You need to bump it again, because now it deleted the first... It copied the second word in the sequence. It copied the second...
Wait, what? What did it do?
It copied the second letter of the second word to 0 rather than 1. So it copied the first letter of the second word to 0, and then it overwrote that with the second letter.
Why did you then want to do that to the first word? Because it's repeating.
Because in the first word, we just put in 0. We don't make it do anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So in the first word, the 0 is coded. In the first word, what you do with address 0 is coded differently than what you do with the other addresses. You forgot to reset the counter, apparently.
So the counter needs to be reset to 0, but how do I do... I mean, I see how I could do... I can put in an instruction here, but the counter starts off at 0. If I do it there, that will be deemed to be the first instruction.
Bump it just... Okay, Trickster says bump it after the negative jump.
Okay, so we'll make the negative jump go over here, give it one bump, and then force a manual jump back. So... Because it ends up at -1, so it needs to be reset to 0.
Let's try
so
that.
that's just that's a manual jump over the top. So this should now work. So grab that. That goes over there. So we've got ourselves, hand is the first word. So that's all going fine right now. The first word should be okay. So that goes down, and then detects the 0, starts actually lowering the number again, now starts putting, H, A, and D, fine. So the H goes in, slow it down to its lowest level. So that is now a -1.
Gets bumped to
and
0.
now it gets bumped to 0 again after detecting that it should be 0. And now foot is looking like it's now in the right position to me. So I think this should now... work. Yeah. And now even though this word is shorter, it won't matter because it will never find the T.
And also if it didn't use is also a word, so you know.
Yeah, exactly. We're basically just playing Scrabble.
Anyway, shout out to Travis, who gave us $20 and says, thank you for playing Crying Suns. It looks fantastic. I just backed it on Kickstarter after playing the demo, of course. I had the same thing happen to me where the whole system became suspicious before I could exit.
Hard to say whether that's, both of us not understanding the mechanics yet or whether it's just supposed to happen that way. Hard to know.
Shout out to, I guess, I'm gonna go with Jacob Klunder, who gave us 45 Danish krona and says, first time donating, mainly just doing it to hear Claire trying to pronounce my last name. Also as a thank you to my favorite YouTube channel.
Thank you, Jacob Klunder.
So I'm going with Klunder, but honestly, I'm just going with German, and I know that it's wrong because it's clearly Danish. So whatever.
This room.
Okay. Right. Let me make sure I don't forget anything. Shout out to Necromingo, who gave us $1.99 and says, John, play Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, please.
Nobody likes Fallout Brotherhood of Steel.
Shout out to Roland, who gave us
Maybe one day. I wouldn't bet against it, but it wouldn't be a full playthrough. It would just be like a brief mini-series like I did for Tactics.
Shout out to Roland, who gave us $24.99.
Oh, thank you very, very much indeed.
And says, absolutely love you both to death. Sorry that John is getting so frustrated with this live stream. Nevertheless, it's funny hearing him curse.
No, I'm fine now. We're just back on the normal green track. Now we're back on the normal green track.
We're
Things
also
aren't insane.
back on finishing this live stream.
Yeah.
That was meant to be done an hour ago, and the cat is gonna come claim food really soon.
No, I said 3 hours. I said 3 hours and we started at 6:30.
Oh yeah, I thought we were starting at 6 though.
Yeah, we started at 6:30.
Yeah.
So.
But you didn't tell me. You told me we started at 6.
Shh.
So.
Oh, 6-ish. 6-ish. It's a Claire-ish. Claire is in no position to question the ish.
Whatever. The last hour of this live stream has been overtime. So.
Whatever. Alright, what else have you got for me?
What else have I got for you? The Blue Beard gave us £2 and wants you to please say banana Pringles.
Banana Pringle. Or Banana Pringles, was it?
Banana Pringles, I guess.
Banana Pringles, Banana Pringles, Banana Pringles. That's not even a tongue twister. That seems
No,
fine.
I don't know why. I looked it up to see if it was something rude or something, but I can't figure it out. Anyway, by the way, heart your channel, which is lovely.
Oh,
shout out to Necromingo again, who gave us $1.99 and says, hello John, I heart your channel and you deserve more subs.
Aww.
I mean, potentially that is true of our regular other live streams that are not this game. I have gone past my usual level of slight frustration at these puzzle games where it makes me want to play it. I've gone past that and into I never want to see this again.
You don't want to try and solve the Fibonacci room, Claire?
No.
Excellent. Yeah, the bonus Fibonacci room could go shove off. Hey Claire, do you want to go check out the prime number room?
I mean,
I can't access it. It's way up here.
It's literally like 8 minutes until Tabby's dinner time.
And 8 minutes until Fallout time as well. So we should probably call it a live stream there.
I think. Shout out to Delicles, who says I think most of us want to say fuck it.
Yeah.
That is true. Shout out to oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know how to say your first name, but shout out to Aina, who gave us £5 and says, thank you for making me glad that I can go back to work again tomorrow and have programming make sense again. Okay. P.S. My name is pronounced Anya.
Anya, good name.
Sorry. I just my brain is not reading words anymore. Shout out to Billy, who gave us £2 and says you should play Shenton IO. It's like this, but ...
I probably it came up a lot during the actual video of this, so there's quite possible I will.
Shout out to Dingo Stinky Pants, who gave us $4.99 and said thanks for all you guys do. Can't wait to see you plunge into XCOM 2. And shout out to What Is Happening, who gave us £2 and says, take my money, take my money, take my money.
Oh, we will. Thank you very, very much for it.
Thank you so much. I just want to go and sleep forever now.
Right, let's wrap things up here. Fallout coming out very, very soon indeed. This game turned out to be slightly harder than we anticipated. It was quite manageable in the levels. It would appear that my video cut off just before the point where it went absolutely ludicrous. There's a bit of a difficulty cliff. Definitely, because you know, like what was the kind of the first one? Like, you know, the whatever the subtraction room I start off with. Oh, that was really manageable. That was great. And then it just kind of went up a cliff, bloody difficulty cliff. So sorry about that. We weren't quite expecting it to do that. That was a surprise. So
wait a sec.
Yes.
Hey, shout out to Megaraptor.
Hello, Megaraptor.
Coming in, near the end here with a $20 donation. Thank you so much. He says, dumps $20 worth of Jaffa cakes upon you, and I am quite enjoying the stream even though John and Claire are very frustrated. Praise the game, bad game.
Oh, quite right.
Do you know what? We don't even have Jaffa cakes.
Or a little spray thing.
No, we don't even have Jaffa cakes.
Because Tabby doesn't ever get sprayed because she's a good cat.
She's a good girl. She doesn't really do like wrong things. And anyway, she'd be terrifying.
Exactly. So we wouldn't spray her. It would be too mean.
No, yes.
So we will wrap things up there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so very, very much for coming along. Not sure what next week is. It will be another one-off. I don't have like another series I want to jump into. So we'll be doing a few one-offs. Maybe something a bit more chill. Let's do something a bit more chill next week.
Like maybe FTL hard mode?
Yeah, like literally anything. We will crack on with something next week.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
But like maybe we could do FTL because I missed.
You missed. You missed. Well, no, but it's coming up again soon on my birthday stream because I was due on my birthday when you also on here because you miss my birthday every year. This is your punishment.
I don't set a date for Worldcon.
This is your punishment. Right, so we'll be back next week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so very much for coming along. Thank you all so very much to the Super Chat donations and all the rest of it. Thank you all so very, very much in general. And we'll be back next week. But in the meantime, I've been John.
I've been Claire.
This has been Many a True Nerd. And this has been Human Resource Machine. Oh, bloody hell. Thank you very much. And goodbye.
Goodbye.